would start another mood reading vlog because I am currently in the mood to mood read, I guess. I've been kind of having a hard time deciding over the last couple of days what I even feel like reading. So I picked out a few things to kind of flip between for the next couple of days, and then I might pick out a couple more books if I finish any of these ones. But first up, I am already 30 pages into this poetry collection, Chameleon Aura by Billy Chapata. I am really liking it so far, but nothing super unique about it quite yet. I'm only 30 pages in though, so that might change. Then I think I'm going to start Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey on my Kobo. This was the first book that I purchased on my Kobo well over a year ago, and I still haven't gotten around to it yet. So I decided, since I wasn't sure exactly what I was in the mood for, that it is high time I start this one. I'm not sure what it's about. All I know is that it is a romance, and I'm gonna guess by the cover it's enemies to lovers, but I could be completely wrong. Hopefully it's good, kind of going into it blind, but sometimes I really enjoy that. And then I'm also going to be listening to I Am Malala. I just borrowed this one from my library on the Libby app. I saw it was available and it's been on my to be read list for a while, so checked it out right when I saw that it was available, and I am really looking forward to listening to this one. I have heard really good things about it. I think this will be a really interesting one to listen to in the next week or so. But right now, I think I'm in the mood to maybe read a little bit of poetry, but then I'm probably going to get ready for bed and maybe start Love Her or Lose Her tonight. So literally the first poem I just read actually kind of resonates with me, and it's called Realizations. People's pain doesn't belong to me, and that is something I'm learning. Being a healer also means giving people the space to heal on their own, and that is something I'm learning. I just really liked that one, and I thought it would share it. Anyways, I am going to start reading now. So the other night and yesterday, I actually ended up reading quite a bit. I just didn't vlog most of it. Yesterday was more of a kind of relaxing day for me. I ended up getting 25% of the way into I Am Malala, and I'm really, really liking that one so far. It is so well written and so eye-opening, and it really puts life into perspective. It makes you more grateful for the little things that we have, like running water and electricity and stuff like that. If you have never heard of this one or read read it or read anything about it, I highly recommend looking into it. I don't think that my description of it would really do it justice, but the author, Malala, is from Pakistan, and when she was just 15 years old, she was shot in the face by the Taliban. And so this book is kind of her talking about that experience as well as other life experiences, such as growing up in Pakistan and living in different areas. So I definitely plan on listening to more of that today, probably while I clean up my kitchen. And then I also got 23% of the way into Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. This one I'm kind of having mixed feelings about so far. The male main character is kind of giving toxic masculinity vibes, which is not the greatest, and I'm really hoping that there's going to be some big character development for him, and if there's not, I feel like I'm going to be very upset with this book by the end of it. I'm going to still give it a fair chance and see where it goes. Maybe it will pick up. Fingers crossed. But right now I am really tired. My boyfriend and I went for a hike in the forest and then came home and went for a pretty long bike ride right afterwards. So I definitely won't be doing too much more today. It was just such a gorgeous day. We had to spend time outside and now I'm very tired. So I think for the next little while, I'm probably just going to sit here in my office and read some more of Love Her or Lose Her. I just finished Love Her or Lose Her. It was definitely not my favorite romance at all. Honestly, I think I'm gonna give it 2 stars. There were points where I kind of considered DNFing it just because I wasn't in love with the characters very much, especially the male main character, Dominic, but I kind of powered through. I thought maybe it could turn around for me. I always hear really good things about this author, so I thought maybe it was going to turn around and I was going to be pleasantly surprised, but honestly, I was just kind of hoping the entire time that this couple would not end up together, and that's kind of horrible for a romance. I don't think that's the aim of it, so for that, definitely only 2 stars. I also found it was pretty spicy and the spice scenes were kind of cringy. That definitely made it kind of hard to read at times. Not my favorite. I'm definitely going to try some of Tessa Bailey's other books because honestly it might just have been this particular book and plot and characters. I feel like her writing was pretty decent, except for the cringy parts obviously, but it definitely had potential and I wish I could have liked it. I didn't. It kind of left a sour taste in my mouth, to be honest. As for right now, I'm probably going to listen to some more of I Am Malala for the rest of the day and maybe read a little bit more poetry again tonight. And then depending on my mood, I might also pick up another novel or graphic novel. I'm not really sure yet, so we'll kind of see when I get there what kind of vibe I'm feeling. For now, I am going to just kind of relax and listen to some more of I Am Malala. Yesterday I finished I Am Malala, and I have to say it was so impactful. I'm going to be thinking about it for a very long time, to be honest with you, and I really recommend it to basically anybody. It really changes your perspective of certain things in life and makes you a little bit more grateful for the things that we have. Definitely a must read. I honestly think this book in particular could change people's lives, and I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but it really is that good and that meaningful and that impactful. And then I kind of felt like picking up a graphic novel just because I kind of wanted something a little bit more light and fun. And so I ended up picking up Cheshire Crossing by Andy Weir. I think that's how you say his last name, and Sarah Anderson illustrated this graphic novel. So Andy Weir is the gentleman who wrote The Martian, and Sarah Anderson is the artist who created Sarah's Scribble, as well as Fangs and Cryptid Club, if you've ever heard of those. So two authors that I love very much. I loved The Martian and I love Fangs and Cryptid Club with all my heart. So when I saw that they made a graphic novel together, I was instantly sold. I didn't even read what it was about, but it's actually been sitting on my shelf for a pretty long time and I haven't really had the pull to read it yet. But yesterday it kind of caught my eye and I thought it was the perfect time to finally pick it up. So I got to page 31. It's very short. It's only like 130 or so pages, so definitely a quick read. It is about Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, Wendy from Peter Pan, and Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and they are teenagers now and their paths cross in a way that I won't say because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, and they end up going on an adventure together. So definitely an interesting premise, and I'm really enjoying it so far. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. Now I am going to sit here in my office for the next little bit and probably finish this. So I just finished Cheshire Crossing and I did really like it and I enjoyed the concept very much and the artwork. It was gorgeous, and I loved that it was kind of like a darker take on the characters from these beloved children's classics. It brought in the worlds and other characters from these three characters' stories, so that was really cool to read about. The one thing I will say though is that parts of it were a bit confusing just because it felt like it was missing stuff. Like, I definitely think it could have been a little bit more fleshed out and detailed, and so for that I think I am going to give it 4 stars. It definitely gave me a 5-star vibe, but it just feels like it's missing some pieces. But all in all, really great read. I definitely could see myself rereading this in the future and reading more if Andy Weir and Sarah Anderson were to ever add to this as well. So on that note, I think I am going to leave this reading vlog here. I had a really great time mood reading again, something I love to do very much. It's always nice to just go with the flow for a little while and not hold yourself to any expectations or TBRs or anything like that. I know it can be a bit chaotic, but sometimes chaos can be fun, especially when it comes to reading. With that, I hope you have a great rest of your week and happy reading.